Hello, everyone. Again, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are here to discuss exit interview prep. All the things that you need to know for your exit interview. And most of the things that I'm going to be saying is drawn from people's experiences. So we've talked to thousands of people who come out from interview, they give us first-hand information of what transpired within the process or during the process. So we are here to kind of highlight on the important things, about people's interview process, what they encountered, questions they were asked, how to prepare for your interview. And just to let you guys know, I'm going to be very systematic with this because there's no need just jumping into interview prep without letting you know what you should do before the interview prep. So I'm an oral nurse, I'm an operating room nurse. So most of the times in the operating room, we have three phases, okay? We have the pre-op phase, we have the intra-op phase, and we have the post-op phase. All right, so we're going to divide this program into three phases. Okay, the first phase that we're going to be talking about today is going to be pre-interview phase. All right, then intra-interview phase, and then the post-interview phase. All right, we're going to talk about them systematically. So just stay with me. I will let you know when I'm entering the next phase, okay? So, but just stay with me, all right? So, first of all, I want to say a very big congratulations. Congratulations to all the people that got interview dates. If you have ever been in our exclusive pre-arrival group, you will notice that we have been rejoicing ever since last 2 weeks because it's been raining interview dates from all nooks and crannies. Where we have gotten the interview date from Cameroon, interview dates from Cotonou, interview date from Nigeria, from Ghana. Everywhere is filled up with interview dates. So it's a good thing. And if you are here and you have not written your NCLEX yet, what are you waiting for? I told you it will move. I told you guys, retrogression or no retrogression, do what you have to do. One day you would find yourself in, surprise. Okay, this is moving now. This is becoming a reality. Majority of the people that were given interview dates are actually, most of them are my candidates, and most of them come for this program. And most of them have been encouraged by this program as well. I have been saying it on this program. I keep on saying it every time. Do not lose hope. If you have not written your NCLEX, just go and write your NCLEX. Sign up with an agency. Don't waste time. Sign up with an agency and wait in the line because very soon you will find the process moving towards your direction. All right. So I want to congratulate. I don't know how my heart is filled with joy. With joy. I woke up one morning. You guys wake up before us. So I woke up one morning and I opened my phone and my phone was like I saw like 2,000 messages and I opened it. I was seeing congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I digged further and I find out a lot of people has even messaged me that they got interview dates over, like when I was sleeping over the night, they got interview dates. So I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Guess what? Your interview dates is what actually made me to put up this video. I want to give you guys more information about what you should expect moving forward. Okay, thank you for waiting, thank you for being patient. So many people actually took a lot of decisions during this period. I know people who have written their NCLEX, but they couldn't wait. They've gone to New Zealand, they've gone to other countries, and now they are finding out how to bring back their processes to either Nigeria to be able to join you guys. So thank you for your patience. You guys are champion. All right. So today, like I said, we're going to be dividing our discussion today into our pre-interview phase, our interview phase, that's the intra-interview phase, and then the post-interview phase, okay? Don't mind me. I'm a peri-op nurse, that's why I always do that, all right? So, but on the pre-interview phase, there are things that you have to start doing right now. There are things you have to start doing because it is very important. And if you miss this process, if you miss that time, it's going to be a lot of, I don't know how you're going to start paying back. You understand? Number one thing that you have to start doing is your immunization. I believe you must have started it even before now. But as a caveat to it, I know some people do it wrong. Some people do their immunization wrong. Anywhere or anytime you go for your immunization, I want you to have your immunization card. All right? Have your immunization card with you. All right? Most of the immunizations that you're going to be getting, most of them has a badge number. All right? Those badge numbers has to be written on your immunization card. Make sure this information, do not joke with it. All right? Make sure that your immunization card has the badge number of the actual immunization vial that they give to you. The badge number has to be written on your immunization card. Um, Let me just hear responses real quick. All right. For some of you that have done your immunization, did they do this for you? Did you guys have them write the badge number of your immunization vial on your immunization card? I want to hear your comments on the comment section. I want to hear you guys on the comment section. Can I get some responses? Yes. I saw Temi. Temi said yes. Okay. Damilola said yes. All right. Who else? Who else is getting immunization without the badge number written on your immunization card? Hmm? Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. So as you can see, everybody is doing it. So if you are in this place and you have not been doing it, you know that you're doing it all the way wrong. Like it will almost be like you're going to get another immunization. Like you have to get another vaccine. And that's not funny because you cannot you cannot actually like, have your immunization twice. Okay, so anytime you have your immunization, ensure that your immunization badge number of the immunization vial is written on your immunization card. Okay, it's very important. Now, number two thing I've found out is that majority of you guys have not been taking your immunization and you have gotten your IDs. Many people have not been taking their immunization or have not completed their immunization and they've gotten ID. Now, that brings me to the question like, we have been complaining of retrogression and now retrogression has cleared, you've gotten ID and you're not ready. I don't know what could have happened if there was no retrogression. Hmm? You were not ready. I've talked to a lot of people that are in this, position. You say there is retrogression. There are some things that you're supposed to be doing during retrogression. Get your immunizations done. Get all your immunizations done because right now, majority of the people who did not do this are now in a dilemma. They don't know what to do because some of the immunization they have to do it twice. They have to do some of them 3 times. Okay, and they have a space like a gap. You cannot just take it today, come tomorrow and take another one. You have to give space for it. So if you are in that category, there is something that I'm going to advise you because many people actually are in this category. Let me read what you have in the comment section. Are we recording? Yeah, I think so. All right, let me read what we have in the comment section. So I see some people are kind of commenting because it's affecting them now. I've touched you guys where it's paining you. All right, so what about babies? So babies is not the primary applicant, okay? So just make sure that they are up to date with their immunization according to their age. If you have a 6 months old, you cannot say because you're going to the US that I'm going to give the 12 months immunization to that baby. Just make sure that they are up to date. Up to date means that 6 months should have taken his 6 month immunization, whatever that is. Okay, should have made sure that your baby has taken that immunization at that time. Okay, so it's not like for you to rush everything. So according to their age, make sure that they are caught up on their immunization. All right, so that's your answer, Agnes. All right, the next question is from Best. Best is, so what of someone who took Hep B 2 years ago? How will he get the badge number? That's the thing. You have to take it again. I don't know how you have to get the badge number. I know that a lot of people actually, if you are okay with that, some people actually, if you have taken it before, majority of the people will go and get a badge number of a hepatitis B vaccine. and they will put it on there. But you have to have a batch number on your immunization card. All right. I answered that question, but if you get what I'm saying, you know what I'm doing. All right. So now the next question is, please send the list of immunization. It's always in our group. I'm going to pin it in our exclusive pre-arrival group. Please, when you get there, go and check on the immunization that we have there. Make sure you have taken all of them. All right. I'm going to pin it there. And then Agnes is saying, I gave my baby his 6, 10, and 14 months immunization without badge numbers. Wow. Well, for the babies, I don't think it counts so much, but for you, the primary applicant, you would need that. You would need it. Because if you come to the US without it, without the badge number, they are going to have to give you another one. In fact, some of the immunizations, when they give it to you, they just put a sticker of the vial. They put it on your immunization card. So make sure you get all those things done. It is very, very important. All right. And then I have another question. What if you tested positive to hepatitis B? Yes, you can test positive to hepatitis B. That is okay, but you have to do more further investigation to know if it is an infectious, if it is like in its infectious stage. Okay, some people are carriers, they carry those hepatitis B, they don't pass it on. Okay, so you have to know what kind of hepatitis B you have, and for you to do that, you have to do a more extensive investigation. And the consular officer will tell you that majority of the time you will be placed on administrative processing until the result of the test come out, unless you notice this beforehand and you have gone ahead of time to do those investigations from IOM or QLife. You've done the investigation and then you come with the result to your interview. That way you're prepared. You know what's coming. You're coming with all the things that they need and you will give it to them when they ask about it. Okay? So, but it's okay to. I have seen a lot of people who tested positive to hepatitis B. I've seen TB positive and they were still able to come to the United States because they did further investigations on them and they were able to determine what stage of the process. Some of them are actually very effective. They will tell them to go on a course, like a treatment course. They will go on a treatment course and come back again for a testing. And then when that is done and is no longer infectious, then they can come. All right. So that's how it happens. I hope I answered your question. All right. So, what's the next question I can see? Please, of someone who has completed hepatitis B vaccine 4 years ago, is it still valid? Well, I would say if you have your badge number, because one of the things again is what they want to see, they want to actually see the antibody when they do the testing. You understand? So if you have it, if they do the testing, the investigation, and you're okay with that, then that's fine. If you're not, they're going to give it to you. All right. So, but that badge number is very important, at least to prove that you have taken that test. Okay. So for someone who has, okay, I've said that I have the badge number. Good for you. All right. So please add me to your pre-arrival group. Yeah. So I don't know if we have one of our admin support. You can come and post our number, our academy number. Just chat up that number on WhatsApp. If you have passed your NCLEX, show proof, and then we'll add you to the group. All right. So I have completed my hepatitis B. I don't want to answer all questions today. See, I prepared though. I told you guys I have pre, intra, and post. Okay. So I want to give you guys back to back today. So we're just in immunization, but I want to take time to answer all the questions because this could be a problem. It could be a problem that, will put you, like 4, 5, 6 months behind when you're supposed to come to the United States. Okay, so someone said I completed my hepatitis B vaccine in 2017 without a badge number, and at what stage in the journey are we expected to start the immunization? Well, for me, I would say after your I-140. After your I-140, you should start getting caught up with your immunization. At, at least the major immunizations, you should start getting caught up with them because majority of them would need like spacing. You will need to take the first one and then take a second one, a second dose. Can someone take hepatitis B twice? Um, It depends. If the vaccine is attenuated, so it's not like you're taking hepatitis B into your body. So it means you're taking a sterilized hepatitis microorganism, if I can use that word. So you should be still good. It depends on what you are taking it for. If it is recommended, why not? But most of the time, I don't see any need to do that, because once the antibody is there, it should be there and it shouldn't be any problem. So for me, I would say make sure that you have your immunization card and your badge number. That is very, very important. All right. So please, I said I missed your question. What was your question? You said, what are the vaccines one is supposed to take? Is it only no, it's not only hepatitis B. There is a lot of MRV and there's a lot of vaccines. I'm not prepared for vaccine today, but it's in our platform. Is in our platform. So we can go there, because somebody can go to our pre-arrival group. If you're there, copy the vaccines and post on the comment section for the benefit of those that are here. Okay, copy the vaccine and post for me on the comment section so that those that are here can. So can I move forward, guys? Do you have all the questions about about immunization? This is the best review I've gotten from you, my boss. It has been a burden. Oh, okay, all right. Thank you. I'm happy that I'm kind of solving problems. Okay, all right. So now let's move a little bit further. We are still discussing the pre-interview phase. Now we are talking about you. So make sure that you have all your documents, when you're getting closer to your exit interview, you should be, just have your mind set up as somebody who is getting ready to be settled. Like you're getting ready to leave a particular location. So you're getting ready to exit the country. So you have to start gathering all the important documents. You see, every certificate that you've ever gotten, your those of you that have done your masters, you're missing your testimonial or you're missing something from your school. This is a good time to start looking for it. All right. If there's a document that your school is supposed to give to you that they have not given you, please, if you have any little change in your bank account, go and get those documents. Get it by yourself. And then create a folder. What I did during my own time, in fact, I give kudos to Steph D. What Steph D did during our own time is that she had a big file, and inside that file, all my children has a slot, like they have a portion of the file that will put their documents. So I have my own portion in the file. She has her own. My son has theirs, and everybody, have their own portion. So if we get a document that is important, we find, okay, this document is for Boss D. We'll put it in Boss D's file. Okay. So I guess that will also help you. Need to get a file jacket, and then put all the important documents of both you, your children, and your husband, your spouse. What are the important documents? Let me go through the important documents for your kids. The majority of you have your children in secondary schools, and they are going to be living like where they are in maybe class 5 or class 4. And most of the times in the US, majority of the time they use age to kind of group where the children will belong to. But according to our own school system in Nigeria, they have gone ahead. That's not supposed to be maybe according to their age if you bring them here. Like some people finish secondary school at 16 years and they are really good, they are smart. You understand? So if people are actually going in that direction, like your children are going in that direction, it is important for you to get their documents. It's important for you to get to whom it may concern from their school. It's important for you to get a kind of transcript from their school. Ask their school to write a transcript or write a letter, where they itemize all their scores, all your children's scores in their schools. They should put them down in a letter format and then give it to you in an envelope. Okay, when you come over here, this is something you are going to present to the school. When you present it to the school will now know how to place your child in that particular school. If not, your child will be placed according to age, okay? Or they have some schools that may go a little bit further to give them tests, okay? And if they give them tests and they don't really, pass the way they want because it might be new information, not because they are not intelligent, but maybe because it's a new information, new system of testing and all that, Maybe maybe your children are used to writing and now they have to use computer to write their exams and they are all like anxious about the whole thing. That will make them to miss their class and they'll be placed like a class below. And you don't want that to happen to your child. You understand? So gather their results, all their results, their performances, their report cards, gather all of that, and then get a transcript, or to him it may consign somebody that is going to speak in the language that other schools will understand and say this candidate or this boy, XYZ is in so class. This class is equivalent to this class in the United States. They do a little bit of research before they write the transcript so that they know they are kind of prescribing the kind of class that they should place the child in when they come over here. Now, let me explain. In Nigeria, sorry, primary 1 to 6, and then I know we have people from other country, and I guess it's the same thing. So primary 1 to 6, and then we have from from JS 1 to 3, and then SS 1 to 3 again. That's not how it is in the United States. We have grade. Here we'll call it grade 1 to 12. You understand? So grade 1 to 12, you might think it's just 6 years, so it's the same, but it's not. You understand? It's not, because most states, when you start your grade 1, you have to be 5 years. Most states, you have to be like 4 years before you start. So it differs depending on the state that you're going to. You understand? And people finish at different points. So, but it's important that you get this document. I'm not going to say so much about it anymore, but get those documents for your children, all their performances, gather all of them, put them in a file jacket as you're coming here. Now, to yourself, if your license is about to expire, please, now is the best time to do whatever you have to do, MC, APC, or MC, PDP, whatever, whatever it is. So do it and get your license done. Okay, it is very, very important. And then your international passport, please kindly get it renewed. If it's possible, even if you still have a little bit of life in your international passport, this retrogression, it may have stayed a little longer. Maybe you thought by now you should have been in the US and you didn't think about your international passport. Now is the best time to start thinking about it. Think about how you're going to go and renew it. When you renew it, please don't give them the old one, okay? Now, everything I'm saying here is very important and you should be taking note. When you renew it, don't give them the old one. Try as much as possible to have them stamp on the old one, refuse with prejudice. I think that's what the word they use. Let them stamp on each paper, each of the paper, and give it to you. Okay, because there are some certain places, because you have used that old one to fill application, you still need to reference back to it to get the number, the passport number sometimes. Like if you have filled your DS-260 form, before you get into that place, they will ask you about maybe your passport number and all that. So you will need that document. So keep it. It's part of the things that you should keep. Next one is driver's license. If you do not have a driver's license right now, you are really not prepared to come to the United States. Okay? You're not prepared. You need to go get your driver's license. Get it as soon as possible. When I was coming here, I got 2 driver's license. One was international driver's license. Okay, that one is easy to get. I don't know. When you hear international driver's license, you would think it's difficult, but it was the easiest to get. I got my international driver's license, then I got the Nigerian driver's license. I got them renewed. Okay, make sure you renew them as well. Make sure they have life to it. Okay, now the next thing that you should try as much as possible to gather is all your certificates. All your certificates. Majority of those that are listening to me are nurses, and when you come here you want to go for further studies, many of those schools would just want you to give them like a transcript or a certificate to prove that you have completed a study in a particular school. So if you don't have those certificates, you would have to start looking for them when you're here. It's not funny. When you get here and you have to send money back home, send somebody there, and they have to tell you, oh, the registrar is not around to sign it. This one is not there. This one, is always a hurdle. So I would like everyone who is listening to me to make sure that you have all your transcripts. Make sure you have all your certificates. Gather them and put them in your file. This is very, very important. All right. Now, the next thing that you will get, primary applicant, I'm talking to you. I'm going to come to the dependent later. The next thing that you will get is picture of your wedding, any picture that shows where you and your husband is taking vow together, especially those that are married. Please find a very nice picture. If your marriage is old, let it be old too, because sometimes people present things that kind of those consular officers will begin to think there is a fraud somewhere. You understand? It's okay for your wedding picture to be old. Just it should just show you. You understand? Don't go and start wearing new wedding gown to take picture because you're listening to this video. No, it's okay for it to look old. We know that there are some certain things that every normal human being should know. We know that marriages that are 20 years old, they will have an old picture that might be black and white. So nobody is going to penalize you for that. Okay, but when you try to go and snap a newer picture and then you have children and then people are now going to, the consular officer may start querying, are they really your children? Do you need to go and do DNA test to prove that your children are your children? That kind of thing. So don't give any room for the consular officer to kind of be suspicious about you. So first of all, first thing first that I want you to do is make sure you have at least 2 or 3 of those pictures from your wedding, your traditional wedding, your white wedding, your court wedding. Have that document in your file. And when I'm saying your file, this file is file you're going to go to the interview with. So you carry that file because anywhere you go with that file, whatever they ask you is inside the file. Okay, so it's going to be a to go. It's going to be, but the problem is if you lose it, you have lost everything. So guard it with all your heart or with all your strength as well. So make sure you go to the embassy with that file, okay? So get a picture that you and your husband, some people carry their album, but I don't advise that. I've seen a lot of people go for interview, they carry a big album, it's not necessary. Just one picture or 2 pictures is fine. It should just be something to prove that you guys were married, okay? You and your spouse, in case it comes into question. And let me just let you know, majority of the time, I think for the most people that have prepared for them to go for interview, majority of them go there and they'll be like, boss, you over prepared us. They didn't even ask of all these documents. And it's okay. It's okay for them to not need it and you have it than they need it and you don't have it. I don't know if you're getting my point. It's okay for them to not need it, but you have it, than they need it and you don't have it. That's actually going to be very, very troublesome for you. All right. So this program is very important. It's an eye opener. I want you to learn from it. So get your picture of your wedding, picture of your court marriage, whatever. Just get it and put it in that file. Then the next thing I want you to get is a court marriage certificate, or a wedding certificate from a recognized church, stating that both of you are married. Okay, if you don't have this, please start looking for it. Okay, get it and kind of if you can, because most of the times, most marriages that are old, it will be old. So just go and laminate it, put it in a very fancy cellophane cover and then make it, laminate it and keep it. Before you laminate it, actually make a photocopy of it because most people laminate and they don't have another copy again, and the laminated copy gets spoiled or something and they don't have anything. So make sure that you have a form of, how will I put it, like something spare, that you have for all your documents. All right. So get that marriage certificate, put it in your file as well. Now, there is something that I also did. It was never required, it was never asked, but I did it anyways, and I'm happy because it's for my own peace of mind. I will also advise you to do it. That's the state of origin identification. You can go to a local government and then they will give you like something to show that you are from that particular local government. Also, we also wanted anybody that is coming to the United States, if you have a birth certificate that is not given by an approved authority in Nigeria, it will not be accepted. So your birth certificate, like, is given by a hospital, it could not be a community center, or no, community center may even be accepted, but something like it could not be a Christ the King ladies' home or something like that, that will not be accepted. It has to be something that has Nigeria on it. And if you don't have a birth certificate that is from a recognized authority, you can actually use your National Population Commission identification. You can use that instead. But I also want you, if it's possible, get both of them. Get the National Population Commission, and then also get the one from the local government. It will be very, very important that you do this. I think I'm kind of close to what I feel that the primary applicants should get ready. The agency or whichever hospital you're working with are going to send you a packet. They will send you a packet that has your I-140 petition and approval, your receipt number, your I-140 filing date, everything. They're going to send you a packet either on your email, and they will ask you to print them out and go with them to the embassy. Please kindly print them out and go with them to the embassy. It is very important. Now, the next thing that I want to say is there is a US passport that is accepted. Like it's not passport that you use to go to, I'm talking about picture passport. There's a US size. There's a size for the US and there's a regular size. Make sure you have like 10 copies of US passport size. Each of you, like you, your husband, your children, make sure all of you have like 10 copies, because at different points in your life when you come to the United States, they will require you to bring a passport. And like I said, it's okay to to have it and they don't need it than they need it and you don't have it. Just remember this word I said today and let it help you to be very generous when you're making copies of some of this your document, because it's good to have them. All right. Are you guys getting value? Are you guys getting value for what I'm saying here today? If you're getting value, I want you to go to the comment section and type value for me. As you're doing that, I want to read some questions in the comment section. I know there are some questions that I've missed. Okay, somebody is saying, Boss D, please, I have a child who will be taking his WAEC next year, April or May. My PD is June 2023, and I know I'll be current soon. I'm confused if I should travel with him before his exams, or maybe should I do follow to come for him? Please, your sincere advice. Okay, my sincere advice, your child should write his WAEC. Your child should write his WAEC in Nigeria, depending on the time. Okay, if he's writing next year, April, I think if you are current next month, you can still go for your visa next 2 months, which will be around March. Okay, then when you get your visa, you go for your interview around March. When you get your visa, because I have people that have already been given February. Okay, so you're not going to get February, so you will get March. Well, if you get March, peradventure you get March, then when you finish your interview, tell your agency to give you at least 2 months to come. Okay, once you have your visa, then you people can wait for your son. When he finish writing his exam, all of you can come. It is possible, it can be done. In fact, most agencies, when they get the visa, they will tell you you have to wait for 2 months. Okay, so that waiting time is time for you to, get yourself together, give 1 month resignation to your work and all that. They will always want you to resign very well. So why not? Your child will be good. Dozier Jude. Dozier, my friend, how are you doing? I know this name very, very well. All right, so I have another question from Aderonke. Aderonke is saying, we joined our old and new passport together. Do we need to remove old one? And the old one showed countries we have traveled to in the past. I would say remove the old one, but have it handy. Okay, remove it and have it handy, because even when they want to give it, when they want to collect it from you, the consular officer, they won't want any information that is not necessary. Okay, if they ask for it, you give it to them. They don't ask for it, don't bring it out. So remove it, put it in your file jacket, go with it to the embassy, so that if they ask you to prove that you were in some of those countries, you have evidence to show. And also remember, if you have been in any country, and thank God you're bringing this up, this is also what I want to say about the primary applicants, and we are still in pre-interview phase. The primary applicant and the spouse, the dependent. If you have been in any country for more than 6 months, know that you need a police report from that country. You need a police report from any country you have been in for more than 6 months. So make sure you get that as well before your interview, because this could be things that would, after your interview, oh, everything went successful, but we're going to put you on AP until you provide us with your police report. Okay, it's not a good feeling. You just be feeling like your future is hanging on a balance. Okay, you don't want to do that. So make sure that you have a police report from any country you have stayed more than. If it's just vacation, 2 months, 1 month is fine. But if it's something, a place you have lived up to 6 months, you need a police clearance report to prove that you have not committed any crime in those countries. This is very, very important. Do not miss it. Okay. Now, the next question I have here is say good evening for those, this Adiola. Good evening for those that that may not want to go through EB3. Is H1B visa still available? When will the process start? A guide will be appreciated. How is pediatric employment like? Ah, I want to just stick with exit interview. I don't want to talk about all this H1B. But the fact about H1B is that H1B is on a pause. That's just the truth. Okay? Because when a president of a country comes out to say, for you to use this process, you have to pay $100,000, is an indirect way of saying, I am pausing this process. Okay? Because nobody makes $100,000 on any candidate that comes to the United States. And nobody is willing to pay $100,000 for any candidate that will come to United States. Okay, so that program is currently on pause. If you have gotten your H1B before the proclamation, then you can go ahead and continue your process. But if you did not get your H1B before the proclamation, for me, take it from me that is on pause, okay, until further notice. Even though there's a caveat, some people say there is a caveat, but it was not stated in the proclamation of the president. They say the caveat is that if you're in essential worker category and the United States is short of staff, that you might be opportuned to apply for it and be exempted from paying $100,000. But the fact is, no one knows. This is just an assumption. Nobody has seen it anywhere. I've not seen it on any paper that people are exempted from that. So that's what I can say, and that's my candid advice. All right, pediatric nursing in the US is a specialty program. Okay, so you have to, do some other form of specialization for you to be in that space. So what I could say is if you are a pediatric nurse back home in any country, try as much as possible to get some med-surg experience so that you to be like a backup. If there is no pediatric openings, you can do med-surg, come in here. If pediatric is your goal or where you want your space, you can work your way into pediatrics while you're in the US than just working your way into pediatrics from your home country. Come in first, and then you can work your way to that specialty. All right. So now the next question is from Gold. To have a Nigerian license, is it compulsory for the international driver's license? It's not. I'm just saying it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You understand? So that's just me. All right. So I have another question from GNM. So he's saying the birth certificate must be from national population. Well, is I have seen them take birth certificate from local government authority, Schedule A. They call it Schedule A in Nigeria. Is it Schedule A or Schedule B? I can't remember, but Schedule something. There's a original birth certificate that comes from the local government. I've seen that being accepted. So, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So get both of them. All right. My husband and I only have National Population Commission. That is also good. I'm just saying it's better to have it and not need it. All right, then 2x2 passport size. Yes, they call it 2x2 passport size. Get like 10 for each member of your family. You will be dropping them at different points and you'll be thankful that you have it. Okay. Can we add employment letter to the file? Yes, very important. You can add your employment letter to the file. Like even your promotion letters, like where you are promoted at your job, you were NO1, now you're NO2, or NO2, now you're NO1. I can't really keep up with how that works. But if you have ever been promoted or anything like that, just keep them. Those are important documents and you can come with them to the United States as well. All right. Okay, my people say they are getting value. All right, adopted child. What do you think? Can I travel with her? This question. How was the child adopted? Was it due process or or you adopted your brother's son. Because the fact is, people do crazy stuff, and I hear crazy stuff a lot. You understand? And I'm not happy whenever I hear that, when it goes wrong. If it goes wrong, if it goes wrong, you find yourself in Dubai or Saudi Arabia and you will accept it and you will never be here. Okay? Because you know what is tagged? Is tagged child trafficking if it goes wrong. If it goes wrong, I mean is if you ever get to the point that they ask you for a DNA test. Okay? If you get to the point that the consular officers ask you for a DNA test and you do a DNA test and it comes out that that child is not your child. Maybe you're claiming a child and the child is not your child. That's child trafficking. Your name, they're going to paste that child trafficking violation on your name. And whenever any country, Canada, Australia, and US, they share data. Even UK, they share data. Okay, so anywhere they mention your name in this country, it will come up. In these four countries. Unless you want to go to other countries that I mentioned before. You understand? So if you did it very well, please, adoption is not a bad thing. Okay? Just have a good intent for adoption. People bring people here and they say adoption, but they actually bring in their house help. And they come here, they continue to do madam and house help issue, and it's not funny. Okay? So if it's adoption, please make sure it's adoption. Have all the legal documents for the adoption. Go with it. Be truthful about it, and it will fly. Okay, no cutting corners. Do not cut corners. I've seen someone, who had an adopted baby, I think adopted, and then along the line, I don't know what happened. They changed something. I don't know if that they changed the child's name and put it on their name, and then they kind of made a birth certificate as though it was their children or something like that, and it went really wrong. Okay, so always make sure that if it's adoption, your documents are straight and you're showing that this is adoption. In fact, if you have problem with fertility and that was what led you to do an adoption, because sometimes they might want to, kind of dig deep. Why did you go for an adoption? You understand? You have 10 children and you're adopting one more. You understand why? So you should be able to have a reason for that. Okay. So if it's a fertility issue, you can also share that. You can show proof and all that. That would make your case strong. If you have something that will make your case strong, bring it on. Bring it to the embassy, and that would be helpful. What is the size of the US passport? Is 2 by 2. We mentioned it earlier on. All right. I hope we are, getting somewhere. We are still in the pre-phase, and then we have spent how many minutes? We have spent almost 45 minutes on the pre-interview phase. But it's good because this is important. I don't mind doing this again next week. If we can't finish everything, then we stop somewhere and next week we'll continue. Okay? Because we need to really get this very well. And I would post this so that all of you can watch it, and it will be something that we're going to be watching from time to time if we get into this situation that everybody needs the information. People can actually refer to this video. All right, so next question is, my child is in SS1. Is it advisable to leave her? Nope. To finish secondary school? Nope. That's the people that I say you should get all the documents that is required from the school and then bring them here to finish. Okay. But if it's somebody that is just about to write WAEC, like the one I discussed before, I would say let the person write. Okay. Yeah. If your son is also in School of Nursing, they are doing a nursing program, or they are doing medicine, or one program in the university or the other that is very relevant in the US, don't just cut them off from Nigeria. I know you want to run away, either Nigeria or Ghana or anywhere you're watching us from. Don't cut them off. Just make a room for them to come here with you, and then they'll go back and finish their studies and come back here as a graduate. It will be a lot. To be a lot of gain, and you will thank me for that later on. All right, now the next question is, I want to ask about families that don't take or keep pictures, like wedding or naming ceremony. It's a special case. Okay, guys, what do families that don't need, they don't used to keep pictures. I think you should go and take pictures now. Just go and take. If you don't used to keep, you can just take some pictures together with your spouse. I think it's good. Is actually good. Just take a picture with your spouse and come with it. It's very, I think it will be accepted. It's better to have something than not have anything. So just go with it to be accepted. My sister's daughter. So that's where it gets so complicated. Like when adoption is like your sister's daughter, and you have to get all the consent. But if adoption is from like a motherless baby's home, for instance, and you have a government document, something proving that you got these babies, from their distant parents, or some not parents, from the place where they are kept. Those ones are more straightforward. And the sister's daughter thing, well, I would say if you have all the documents, why not? You understand? You just need to make it very, very legal. You have to be very, very legal. And when it becomes like a relative like that, what legal documents will you bring? The highest you can get in that type of situation is a consent from the parents. And these consent are not, if I'm a father and I give you my daughter, it's not an adoption for sure. We both of us know it's not an adoption. It's just like go with my daughter to the US and better her life, that kind of thing. When the daughter grows up, she will come back for me. But if it's adoption, like okay, there's a situation and the parents are refusing to take care of her, and this child has grown up with you all days of like maybe the child has been with you all through her life. Why not? You can prove this by providing evidence as well. So yeah, if you have really done an adoption and it's a duly documented adoption, it's possible that you can bring them here. All right. So, in terms of passports, I recently renewed my passport, but I wrote the old passport number on my DS-260 and submitted it. Please, the one that you renewed, Agnes, do you have it? If you have it, there's no problem. Just keep it handy. All right. I came late. Hope we'll have the recording. Yes, I hope so. All right, the last one is which is better, the international driver's license or the ordinary 3 years or 5 years driver's license? I think the ordinary one is fine, perfectly fine. But if you don't have the ordinary one, have the other one. But the ordinary one is actually what is widely accepted in the US. You can actually use it to drive for like 3 months while you're here in the US, and it's accepted, until you get your own driver's license. Are we all together? Can we move to the spouse now? Can we move to the spouse? All right. I've always said this. Most of the time, I've found out that most of our spouses are not prepared for the US journey. I've been talking to a lot of people here in the US, and one thing I've found out is that majority of them, majority of the spouses think that there is a job waiting for them, just like a job is waiting for your wife. And I want to say it's not the case. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about the spouse is if your spouse um, is a businessman but went to school and he does not have a resume, this is a good time to start working on a resume for your spouse. Okay, the CV that he can use to apply for job. He should, bring out all his kind of attributes, all his talents, try and put them down, make a resume, a very good resume for him. That's number one. Number two is number two is I need them also to decide on what they are going to do when they come here. I did a small presentation before where I itemized all the things that the spouse can do when they come here. I think it's on our YouTube. You can go and watch it. But let them decide on what they want to do when they get to the United States. Let them also start working towards getting skills that will make them marketable, that will make them to be very, very employable in the US. Skills like proficient in typing, proficient in, English language, all those kind of things. They should try and develop things that will make them employer ready or job ready in the United States. It's very important. Okay. Now, your spouse is not also exempted from the immunizations. Your spouse should do or do well to get all the immunizations ready. Every of the immunization that was posted on this comment section is very important. Please kindly make sure that your spouse gets all those immunizations done as soon as possible. As you're doing yours, go with him. All right. I'm going to say something again because I know it happens, and I hear stories. I know it happens. Majority of maybe your spouse, you guys were okay when you started the process, but because the process is so long, now you guys are not together anymore, and you do not want you to go to the United States with your spouse. Okay. Now, what I want to say, because I don't want you to open a can of worm that is going to delay your process. Okay. What I want to say to you, if that is truly your decision, that you do not want to come with him, both of you are not living together anymore, my candid advice to you is to put him on follow to join. Okay. Then when you come over here, you find a way to terminate the process for him. Okay. Why I'm saying that is that if you mention that you guys are separated, or you people have done like divorce, or if you just say anything like that shows that he's no longer coming, they will require documentations from you. And that might be like you have to get some court documentations, and you may not have the time or his consent. If they sue him to court and he does not come, if they do one or two things and he doesn't show up, he'll be delaying you. You understand my point? So the best thing, best practice is just to save yourself, and then you can find a way to know what's going on with him and how to discontinue his process. It has happened a lot. I've had to talk to a lot of people about this, and I just felt like you mention it here so that it reduces the number of people that come to me and say you are not responding to me. One week ago I sent you a message. It's because there's a lot of messages, and once you send and you're not reminding me, your message gets pushed down, and before I can get to it, maybe something will come up. I'll be distracted. I'll do another thing. But definitely, I always, once in a while, I always go around and make sure I answer all my messages. All right, so please kindly make sure that you adhere to what I have said. These informations that I'm getting, like I said, they are real life experiences. So as you can see, I'm not reading from anywhere. So I'm just telling you from my head what has been going on with a lot of people, and I want you to learn from it. I want you to not make the same mistakes that people have made in this process. And that's one of the benefits of being a member of Decency NCLEX Academy, because you would get good news. Like I said, I'm a vendor of good news, so you will get good news that would help you in your process. Okay, let's go forward. All right, so that being said, make sure that you avoid anything that would say that you are divorced, or that you're separating, or you're going through divorce, you're coming from divorce, or you're into divorce. Make sure you get that out of your language, when you're talking about that. And then another thing I also want to mention about that is, if you go to the interview and you have kids with this father that doesn't want to join you, or that you guys are having a problem, the problem is that your kids might be truthful about it. So they might need some education before the interview. Okay. They might need to get their mind straight, because to be honest, I'm not telling you to lie, but the fact is that sometimes when families are going through tough time, it's better for everybody to kind of be on their own. Then they decide, oh, this is actually what I'm missing. And then they can come back to what they are missing. So that separating part or time can actually give the man opportunity to come back to his senses, and look for the love that he had before, that he once had and lost. He can come back for it. And if you see genuineness of heart in whatever he's saying, and you feel like you want to accept him back, why not? I'm not here to give marriage counseling, but I'm just saying, majority of the time your child can say my daddy left our house or something like that, and put everything, because some consular officer can be very tricky. When it gets to that kind of situation or that kind of question, and they notice you're living alone and you have a husband, they will begin to ask the children question instead of asking you. Say, hey, how are you, pretty girl? How is your father? When last did you see him? When last did you talk to him? You understand? And that begins to put strain on the process. Another thing I want to say is, I've also seen, because majority of what I'm telling you is out of experience. I've also seen couples that the husband has uh, committed an offense and is in jail in this country, and the wife is trying to come, and So was the husband in jail? I can't really know, but the husband is out of status, but is in this country, not in jail. Out of status, that means that the document that the husband used to come to the United States has expired, but is in this country, and the wife is trying to come over legally, like normal way. Wife is a nurse, want to come over, and then, in the process, just try as much as possible to avoid everything that mentions him. Most of the times you would have a way to do that, and you can come to me one-on-one for more insights on how to answer questions concerning that, so that you don't get yourself looped in a situation that you don't want to be part of. At least you want to bring your children to the United States. So yeah, so that being said, another thing I want to say about the spouse is, just like your wife is getting immunization, get immunization as well. Just like your wife is getting all the documents that I mentioned, please, everything I said about your wife applies to you as well. So get everything that she's getting, except her nursing license, which I know to be difficult for you to get. Get all that and put them in the fire jacket. That's what you're going to bring to the United States when the time comes. Now, the next thing I want to say, I want to talk about is medicals. I'm still in the pre-interview phase. So medicals is different from immunization. Don't get both of them confused. So medicals is the time that you present yourself to IOM or QLife for them to run the recommended investigations by the United States. Most of the times they are looking for communicable infections, things that might, not really be nice for you to come and spread here if you have it. Now, I've gotten questions like from some people who are HIV positive. They're asking me, can they come to the United States? They tested positive to the virus. Of course, you can. You understand? You can. It's not a problem. It's not something that would make you not to come. You understand? The only thing is that, of course, there are people with HIV in the US. Of course, there's it everywhere. You understand? So it's not like you're bringing something new to this place. But the only thing is that make sure your viral count is low. Always make sure that your viral count is low. You're taking your medications, you're boosting your immunity. Make sure you're doing all that. That would be very, very, very nice of you. All right. So this is very good about all the processes for pre-interview phase. Everything I've said, I cannot run through it because I was just saying them from my mind. I did not write them down. Maybe when I watch the video myself, I will learn from myself, but all these things is very, very important. I want you guys to take note of them and make sure you do them. Make sure you do them. COVID vaccine is not required anymore, but it's actually good that you have your vaccination cards. Okay? COVID is, there was a time that they required people to have their COVID vaccination cards, before you can even travel, before you can do anything. But now is something that is treatable. People have come to, be used to the virus, and is not dreaded as it used to. So right now, just make sure you have your vaccination card. Like I used to say, everything I'm saying here, there is no limitation to it. It can be more, it can be less. But what I've mentioned, all of them you would need. But it's always good, like I always say, it's better to have it and not need it than you need it and you don't have it. Okay? So that's my word for today. I'll write it on this video. It's better to have it. It's better to have this and not need it than to need it and not have it. Okay, do you have any other question about pre-interview phase? Don't ask me intra-interview because that's where I'm going to, so that you're not kind of, picking what I'm going to be talking about. And then I want to also mention, if you have gotten your ID, and you have not scheduled your medical, your medical may be after your interview. I'm telling you, because just like you were rejoicing, people are also rejoicing. Many people got their ID, so that place will be flooded. You understand? Both Q Life and IOM is going to be so crowded. So make sure if you have not gotten your ID, next month, if ID, God willing, should come the way it's coming now, immediately you get your ID, next thing, go and look for money and schedule your appointment for your medical. That's the first thing you have to do. Because majority of the time, you would shift your interview date because you have not done medical. And shifting your interview date is not in your hand. It's not like it's something you can go online and do by yourself. So you have to start emailing the embassy, say, I cannot come for the interview because that's not good now. Since you have something you have been waiting for, You understand? You can't say that. So once you get your interview date, schedule your medicals immediately. All right. I hope I've said that enough to make you understand how important it is. Okay, a medical doctor's spouse, what is his job prospect? A medical doctor's spouse has opportunity to get into residency when they come to the United States, but they have to write the USMLE exam. They have to do the part one, the part two, and the practicals. Most of this exam is not done in one day. Sometimes it might take them like 2 years to get this exam done, and a man has to eat. So it's always good to have an escape route or exit plan, something that you can be doing while you're pursuing your residency. And one of them is the job that I call Clinical Documentation Improvement Practitioner Program. Okay, we offer that program in Novel Training Services. It's a company that we have that we are partnering with. DNA is partnering with them, and we are offering the program for medical doctors, foreign medical graduates, and other nurses that don't want to work bedside. You can do this course. It's actually an 8 weeks course. It's a $1,000 course. Once you do it, you'll be able to work remotely from your home. You earn as much as a registered nurse is earning in a hospital or even more. And you can work 2 jobs if you want. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so you can actually work for many companies if you want to. All right, so that is very, very lucrative. You can jump on that if you're a medical doctor. When you come in, find a way to reach out to me, save my number, reach out to me, we'll get you enrolled. You can even do the course from Nigeria. You'll go to Lagos, you write the exam. They write the exam in Lagos. You can go to Lagos, or even in Ghana, they write the exam in Ghana. If you're in Saudi Arabia, they write the exam there. So I have people all over that have written this exam before. So go there, write the exam, have the certification. Once you come here, you start looking for a job. It's better than coming here and looking for a job and at the same time trying to adapt and reading. It is going to be a tough moment. So if you can get it out of the way, do it so that when you come, you can actually face your thing. Another way that people get into residency is by doing a course that I call physician assistant program. Physician assistant program is like is they call them PA. They assist physicians. And the reason why I like that course is that if you want to get into a hospital system, it's better that you get close to the hospital system as much as possible. Just like CDI, you work with doctors, physician assistants, you work with other doctors. So from communicating with them, you can find out if they have availability in their department and all that. And before you know it, you are getting yourself residency. But if you're just applying for residency from the blues, let me tell you, people closer will get it. It will be posted, but people that are closer will get it. It's everywhere. Because if I have an opportunity that I know someone that is close to me can fill, I would rather give it to somebody that knows he's in and out in the hospital than someone from somewhere like, talk more of a foreign medical graduate that is still adapting to the US system. It will be difficult. So get yourself into the process, get yourself into the hospital system, and then you'll be able to, know how to navigate the program. All right. So I have a long message. Say, do I need to adopt my husband's son whose mother died during his birth officially? And can I file for him? If your husband is alive, you do not need that process. You understand? Because it is your husband's son and your husband is your dependent. Okay, so he just needs to say that is your stepson. Okay, and then you can also come with evidence to prove that the lady is demised, like maybe death certificate or something like that that will prove that the mother is. Then you can come with them. And thank you for doing that. That's actually, you have a big heart. Thank you so much. All right. Will there be an issue that the marriage was in-house with no legal document? Is it the marriage with the one that demised or marriage with you? If it is marriage with you, yes, there'll be an issue. Get something to prove that you are really married to him. Okay. So death certificate is only the document showing that there was a union. For that one, that death certificate is enough. If you present it, is fine. Okay. That was a good way to, ask question. I like, the question was easy to read, even though it's big. But thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And I have a question from Elizabeth. Elizabeth said, do they need to write IELTS or any English proficiency here in Nigeria before moving? Your spouse? No, your spouse don't need to, unless your spouse is a registered nurse and maybe they are going to work in a state that require IELTS. Some states in even though you have passed your NCLEX, if you want to work in that state as a foreign nurse, you have to take IELTS in the US. So but make sure that they are not in those kind of states. So best adaptation class ever. I'm changing my mind today about adopted daughter. She can come over when she's through with her studies. Actually, if you come here and God blesses you and you have money, you can actually get that your daughter, your sister's daughter, to come here for studies. Do an F1 for her. You understand? After studies, she can get a job and remain here if she wants. And if she comes here and study, who knows? She can find an Oyibo husband and then she will stay here forever. All right. So is it possible to wear wedding ring? Yes, you can. I actually wanted to talk about that's you're going into my next conversation. I wanted to talk about I want to talk about the intra interview phase, starting with what you are wearing to the interview, because a lot of people will wear chosen. No, I'm not saying this to despise the chosen. You understand? But there are some things you don't take. So I've gone to interview myself and I saw somebody wearing a chosen vest. The vest that they use for chosen. And I'm not saying I love chosen ministry. You understand? But I'm just like, there's places for everything. Okay. This is an official and a professional environment, and we expect that you dress professionally. Please, chosen people, don't come for me. This is just an advice I'm giving my people to dress well for their interviews. Not like I'm saying that, but a lot of people wear things that are indicative or distractive, because sometimes when you wear some of those clothes, what it does is that it distracts the consular officer from focusing on you to focusing on what you're wearing. You understand? And then it is now on the consular officer to decide whether he likes what you're wearing or not. If this person that is your consular officer is an atheist, for instance, you have already stirred up an emotion within him by wearing that. Some people might say, oh, I'm going to wear this because I know God will bring my visa out. But that God is spiritual. You can wear it spiritually and go through it and then get everything done. Please, I'm actually innocent of this thing I said now. I know how it can be. All right. So now the next I said I'll talk about the wedding ring in the next phase. Okay. Now the next question is, when can one start the follow to join process? You can start it anytime. You can decide that your husband is following you to join. Just email your processing officer that you're dropping him from the process, so that when they send document, they will not send his own, and they will write to the embassy that he's followed to join. They'll make that application. It is done. It's quick. It's easy. It's not a rocket science. Okay. So, and then I have a question from someone else. He's saying, what if you're legally divorced and you are given custody of your children, you have your marriage certificate, a decree, and a court judgment some years back. Do you have any problem? No, ma, you do not have any problem. You are actually ready to go. I'm talking about people who make those decisions like last minute. I've been in discussions or in talks with people who got into like a fake marriage because the families, they want their son to travel abroad, so they looked for a nurse, and then later on they found out that the nurse now started. They got married actually, but the nurse started finding out that the son has a big issue. You understand? It's just like somebody they are trying to put in rehab, and they now got the son a personal rehab nurse. You understand? So the nurse was like, no, I can't do this. I cannot rehabilitate your son. He needs medical attention. You understand? And then he decided to quit the marriage. In that kind of situation, if you quit the marriage and your interview is next week or your interview is next 3 months, you don't need to come and start saying I'm divorced, because if you do, you provide evidence. You might stay to finalize that process. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but I feel like it's like opening a can of worm. So first thing first is to save yourself. Come over here first, then you can decide on what to do. But nurses, I'm telling you, we see a lot, a lot. Now that this process is favoring the nurses, when it was favoring doctors, no doctor complained that he was kind of how will I put it, like he was deceived into a marriage. Because I know there were times not even like Presently in some countries where doctors are, worshipped because they make more money, nobody coerces them into marriages. You understand? But now because nurses make a lot of money when they come over here, a lot of people are now coerced, like they are deceived to enter into marriage and relationships with, people that need rehabilitation, like they need medical attention. You understand? They need to be flown abroad for medical attention, and then they marry a nurse to him and say, join this girl is in doing the process, just try and play along, all those kind of things. So that should not be the case. If you find yourself in that kind of situation, I would say is a deceptive marriage, and I don't think God approves deception. So you don't have any binding thing that will make you to continue to remain there. So if the foundation is faulty, then the house will collapse. Even if it doesn't collapse now, it will collapse in future. So no need painting it. All right, so Ma, I think I answered your question. You do not need to, worry about anything. You can come with the divorce document, the marriage court judgment, and your children. Since you have custody, there will be no issues. Okay. Um, Also, I wanted to mention again, when you have custody, sometimes you also have visitation allowance for the guy. You understand? But now that you're traveling abroad, that will not be possible anymore. So you might need, if that man is still alive, you might need some kind of consent, or you might need to figure out how to get a consent and go to the embassy with, just to show that he's aware that this process is ongoing. He's aware that his children will be traveling abroad and he's okay with it. Just I'm saying because I want you guys to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. All right. Okay. So the next one is about COVID and we answered it. And then the next question is from Lawal. Lawal is asking, when can one start the follow to join process? I think I answered this question. Yes, you can start it as anytime after your I-140. You're done, your I-140, everybody has been approved. You can drop anybody you want to drop. You understand? You have power. You've got the powers. It's not the major kind of power. Okay, now Zainab is saying, can someone who wears hand prosthesis travel to the United States as a nurse? Mm. Mm, what is it, the entire arm? Are you able to perform nursing role? Are you performing nursing role currently? You might need to disclose your disability. Is it a disability? Let me just ask that question, because somebody can still have prosthesis and still be able. You understand? Is it a disability? If it's a disability, you might need to declare it. So when you're applying for a job, there's actually a part of that application process that asks about disability, and you have to be sincere about it. So if you have been asked about disability and you are sincere and you answer that you have a hand prosthesis and your job employed you, embassy cannot say no to you. Okay? Just you have to disclose that you have a disability, and then before you go for your embassy interview. I don't know if I'm making sense. Okay. Just make sure that you disclose that information. All right. If it's a disability, but if it's not a disability, if you can actually still provide your nursing care with one hand or with both hands, and you shouldn't consider yourself disabled, then that's up to you. You just need to function optimally. But if it's anything that would be a debilitating condition or something that will limit you from performing optimally when you come to the United States, you will need to disclose that. You will need to disclose. You don't want to get in a job and people are discussing how to fire you on the first day you arrive. You understand? Because the only thing that they will see that will make them to kind of still fire you is if you were not honest to them. You understand? You have to be honest about it and say, this is what I have, and I am able to do X, Y, Z. You understand? Don't just say, this is what I have, as if you are not able. Okay? So if you know you're able, state the fact and also market yourself. Say what you can do so that lets them know that there are maximum functionalities or functions that you can perform. All right. A medical doctor spouse, what is it? Why do I keep going back? I've answered that question, right? A medical doctor spouse. Maybe the question came like the second time. I've answered that question about medical doctors, Miriam. So the prospect is enormous. They will get money more than you eventually, but they walk into it. Do you know that nurses earn more than resident doctors here in the United States? You will not believe it, but majority of nurses earn more than resident doctors. But eventually, when they become consultant, like when they become physicians, their money is like they use truck to pack it. You understand? Especially if they are like surgeons and cardiothoracic surgeon, they did one surgery like this, they pay them. Yeah, I tell you the amount they pay these guys, it's a lot. You understand? But the process, like you've done your medical school now, you're in residency, they don't earn as much than they work a lot. You understand? Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that, but there's a lot of prospect eventually. There's a lot of prospect, but when your spouse come with you here, get your spouse to register with Novell Training Services, a company that we partner with. I will share the flyer of Novell Training Services in our exclusive pre-arrival group after this meeting. Let them register and let them do the course. Let them do the clinical documentation course. That will help them to get a job. In fact, I can almost guarantee that they will get a job if they do it. Okay, if they don't get a job, call me. I'll help them to look for a job because there are so many jobs about clinical documentation that are here in the United States. Okay, it's COVID card for the principal and dependent. Yes, for everybody, even your children. You understand? Everybody should have it. It's better to have it and not need it than to have it, than to need it and not have it. Okay, for the in-person document review, is it only the principal applicant that has to go to the embassy or both the principal applicant and the dependent? So I've seen it. I've seen situations where people go for this in-person document review, and it's a new thing. During my own time, we didn't go for document review. We went for our to the embassy straight. You understand? So for us, we just went straight, and documents were reviewed as we were standing on the line, as we were standing on the queue. The document that they are trying to review, and that's another thing that thank God I'm still in pray. I've not gotten into the intra. The document that they are trying to get. In fact, I say something about that. So it's part of the document that your agency will give you. It contains your DS-260 form. It contains your payment, visa fee payment page. It contains your appointment letters. It contains your welcome letter. It contains all these documents that NVC has given you is contained in the packet. So that packet is what they are trying to review to make sure that you have all the documents. They are not reviewing your marriage certificate, all these things I mentioned, they are not reviewing it. It's the consular officer that will ask you for that. But the document review is just to make sure that you have every other needed document for the interview, like the normal one that the US government requires. Okay, so I would say go with your dependents, but just to be on the safe side, go with them. I've seen people who went to Cameroon or Cotonou, just budget like 2 months and stay there, whatever time that it will take. Everybody will stay there before you know it. You get your visa, you come back. All right, so yeah, that's that. What if the family had a newborn who is not in the filing before? How do they handle it in order not to delay the process? You know, the good thing about this process is that you can even add somebody on the day of your interview. So if you deliver today now, if you're pregnant and you just born today, and tomorrow is no, not tomorrow, let's say next week is your interview, you can carry that child. So far, you can get a picture of that child, do an international passport for the child. You can carry the child, go to the embassy, and add the child on that day of your interview. You can add somebody on the day of your interview. Just the same way that you can remove somebody at any time, you can also add. You can add somebody on the day of your interview. Not really like an older person, like a newborn, because everybody knows newborn is newborn. And nobody plans for some of like the date of arrival of children. They can come anytime they want, unless you're doing an elective CS. All right. So, so now the next question is, how do one register her preferred address for delivery when you're filling out the application in the embassy? Sorry, when you're in the embassy, after you have gotten your visa, they would collect your documents and send it. They would ask you, do you want us to mail this document to you or want us to put it at the Lagos or Abuja, okay, in this case, it's going to be Lagos DHL office. Sometimes people will say, I'll prefer to go and pick it up in DHL office, and that is fine. You can pick it up in DHL office. But a lot of people will say, I live in Kaduna, I cannot come back to Lagos again. I want to give DHL my address so that they can mail it to me. That means you have to go to the DHL support person in the embassy, or you go to their office in Lagos and go and give them your number, sorry, your address and every other information that they require, and they would send it to the office near you. There's another one they call something premium. It costs $30 right now. So what they do is they take it to the nearest DHL office closest to you. Like in your state, there may be a DHL office in your state. It's not coming to your house, it's coming to the one in your state. Then you go to that place and claim your document from them. So it depends whichever one you want to do, but it's different. Okay. Now you're asking me post. I told you guys to ask me only pre-interview questions, and you're asking me post. Is it Chiglo that asked me that question? All right, now, you see, we're not going to do intra today. We're going to leave intra for next week. Next week, Friday, we'll all come back here and do the intra phase. And I want to take care of all the questions that people are asking, because I cannot just say, I'm going to skip all the questions and just rush through it. But if you rush through it, then people are still left in the dark. So why not answer all the questions? So let's do all the questions. All right, so how do one register? I've said that. What if the husband studied banking and finance? Any job suitable for him on arrival? On arrival, I don't think so, but he has to walk into that position. There are banking jobs, here, though they are limited because a lot of people do so many things online. But there are still banking jobs. I know a spouse they are here in the US. The husband used to work in the bank, and the bank was like a global bank in Africa, something in Africa, but the bank is here in the US. So what he did was he transferred in bank transfer. So they transferred him to their location closest to where the wife was working. And that was a seamless process. So, but if your husband is working in a bank that is not here in the United States, your husband can actually, beef off his CV and come here and apply. There may be courses for him to do. I have not kind of researched into it to know the courses, the names of the courses that they are supposed to do, but there may be courses that he's supposed to take. Like, the way they do ICANN? Yeah, there might be some accounting courses that you're supposed to take here in the United States. And when you take it and pass it, then you can now be eligible to start applying to some of the jobs. Okay, so next question is from Agnes. Agnes said, how can you add a new baby? Said it. You can add it in the embassy. They're going to give you a form. It looks like a DS-260 form. You complete the form there and you add the baby there. Give them your passport, and that will be all. All right. Okay, let's go further. And then I have Abigail is saying thank you for my answers. I appreciate you, Ma. Thank you so much for being here today. Miracle said, please, how much should be the least a hospital should pay in this economic situation? Are you saying a hospital in Nigeria or a hospital here? Okay, now let me just talk about hospitals in the United States. So there's something we call minimum wage, and there's something we call market rate. Okay, so most hospitals work with market rate. Okay, market rate is adjustable, which means every year they will do an analysis and find out the living condition of the state, how costly things are, and based on that, they increase salaries. Okay, they increase hourly wages. Okay, so a lot of people will notice if you're working here, every year there is an increment. Every year there's an increment. That's why people who have worked in a hospital for maybe 10 years or, yeah, the majority of the time, if they don't want to tell you how much they're earning, because even if they are CNA, if they have worked for 10 years, you will see that they are almost nearing how much that a registered nurse that is new grad is earning when you come in. but they are CNA, but they are earning the same amount. So because of the time that they have stayed and market adjustments that has been happening, market adjustment happen often. So when those adjustments is happening, increments are coming, and that's how they end. So majority of the time, you are not the one to decide. Like they use your experience and they use the market adjustments to decide how much they're going to pay you. Agencies are different because agencies mark up their rates. They kind of bill the hospitals like much, and then those hospitals that are billed will pay the agency, and the agency will pay you. And just let me sound this as a note of warning: no agency is taking your money. Your money that they are paying you in that hospital will be almost the same thing or the same thing that a regular new grad in the United States is receiving. You understand? The only thing is that some agencies are more generous because of the markup. They are able to also mark up your own rate. So if I'm an agency and I'm charging a hospital like $70 to get you for an hour. I might say, okay, in this $70, I'm going to give you 50. Another agency will say, no, I'll give 36, depending on how much they charge. Another agency might be charging, maybe they bargain with the hospital, they're charging the hospital. Nobody knows what agencies charge hospitals, but we know they are not losing money. We know they are making money from putting you there. So yours is just to make sure that whatever they are paying you, and of course, it's fraudulent for somebody to pay you below the market rate. Okay, so make sure that they are paying you something that is within the market rate. If they go above it, it's out of their benevolence. And if you're lucky to find agencies that are going above that, that's fine. But you will be okay. Ultimately, you will be okay because if you're being paid according to the market adjustment, it means that you will survive no matter what, or except you are extravagant. It means you can still put food on your table and do the basic things you're supposed to do and still have change. Okay? If you are being paid according to the market rate. Now, I don't know for Nigeria or any other country, and I cannot speak to that, but I believe your question is about the US. All right, so now I have Yinkus. Yinkus is asking, I was born in 1980, sir, but I couldn't lay my hands on my immunization card again because I lost my mother at a tender age. Oh, sorry. We're in the same shoe. I lost mine at a tender age too. Because I lost my mother at a tender age, but have taken all the vaccines that was in the group. Okay, for traveling, is it only the vaccine close to medicals that have to be taken? Please, would there be a problem during interview? So all those vaccines that you're supposed to take before the ones that you took now. In fact, I would just advise you, go and look for an immunization card, okay? Look for an immunization card and all the vaccines that you know that you took, okay? Put them down, okay? And then the ones, or just go to a hospital, go to somebody in the public health department or something in the hospital. Let them guide you, let them advise you because they have immunizations that little children are supposed to take, like all those BCG and all that, all those kind of things. So all those ones, let them just find a way to reflect them and then write the ones that you have taken and the one that you're supposed to take close to the interview, then leave it. When you take it, put it down. And when you put it down, please kindly make sure you also put in the batch numbers. You're writing the batch number down or you're putting the label of the batch number. You're putting the label of the batch number on that's why when you're getting your immunization card, make sure it's the one that has a lot of leaves. Because there are some immunization card like the yellow fever card, sometimes it's not enough. The pages are not enough for all the things that you have to paste because some of them, once you paste one sticker, you have covered a lot of area. You understand? So make sure you have the one that has a lot of leaves where you can, and as you're getting for yourself, also get for your children as well. You understand? They can transfer the ones they have been giving them to that one, right? The dates that the immunization was given, that's also very important. The dates that the immunization was given should also be reflected, okay? I don't know if, okay, we have more questions. I'm going to take more. We have spent 1 hour, 30 minutes on this show. I'm going to take more questions. And if anybody has a question and you want to ask me directly, I can give you the mic and you can ask me the question. So kindly let me know if you have any question that you would like us to talk about. directly. I have so many things to talk to you people about on the intra phase because that's where some things might go wrong. That's where many things go wrong, and I want you guys to be aware of it. So if anybody want to ask me a question directly, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. Please, ask me your questions. I'm here. Okay, while I'm waiting for people to ask their question, okay, I have someone. Adiola, go ahead.
Okay,
Tell us your name, your location, and then your question.
good evening, sir. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear
I'm
you.
fine, sir. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was okay. I was one asking about the H-1B visa. I knew maybe you might have answered the questions along the line. I got disconnected, so I want to know. I want to find out, sir. There was recently you invited someone talking about the visa applications, the H-1B visa. So I would like to know, is it yearly application and this year has it gone or we'll be waiting for next year? Because I'm thinking just to abate all this long long queue for EB3, there are other people that may want to explore other options like H-1B visas and then be like EB3 and other options like that. So I just I don't know if you could just provide details about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are two types of H1B. Number one is the lottery H1B. And then the other one is the cap exempt. Okay. So the cap exempt one is for non-profit organizations in the US. So these hospitals, like they are owned by Catholic Church, they are owned by Anglican Church, they are not using it to make money, they are just offering free services. Okay. They allow them to bring in people or nurses or workers from anywhere because most of the time those workers are cheaper than labor in the US. So they allow them to bring people in and they don't allow them they can do it all year round. So which means they can bring somebody in January, they can bring somebody in anywhere, anytime. But there is the lottery one. The lottery process or lottery H1B only happens once in a year. Okay, and it happens from January ending towards March. That's when the lotteries are collected, and then the raffle is being drawn in April. Okay, and those that are selected will be given an approval. They will go to their embassy interview back home and they come here. Now, the President of America said for you to bring a nurse, or not a nurse, anybody to the United States, you have to pay the government of the United States $100,000. And this money is not going to be used to pay the nurse. It's just money you're going to say, I love this person so much. I have interviewed the person. The person can walk like robots. So take $100,000 and I would hire the person. Nobody wants to do that. So what I was saying when I was answering you is that indirectly, the President of America said, I do not want H1B. You know, when you don't want somebody to leave your house and person comes, has stayed for 1 hour, stayed for 2 hours, and you bring out your broom and start sweeping, it means that it's time to go for the person. Okay, so when he made that proclamation, I knew that the intent was not that people would be able to pay $100,000. If it was like pay 10, maybe 5,000 or 2,000, you understand? Of course, people would, try to gamble it. But $100,000, even here in the United States, people struggle. Most people don't have $100,000 in their account. In fact, if I divide America, if I'm not joking, if I'm not mistaken, if I divide America into 100, 50% of Americans don't have $100,000 in their account. You understand? So for you to come and say you require $100,000 for one person to come here is actually a way of saying, I don't want this process. So that's what I was trying to tell you when you asked the question. That is on hold. Another government can come tomorrow and say, no, I love H1B. It's the best way to get the best staff into the United States. Open the way. And they will open it up and people will come. There are still other measures and other means that people can use to come to the United States. There is F1, there is E2, there is a lot. There is TN visas. There is so many categories of visa. It's just like ABCD. It's so much. ABCD1, ABCD2. There are so many categories of visa, and many of them mean different things. There is NIW and the rest of them. So it depends, whichever one you want to come with. You understand, is also fine. But always think future. EB3 is the only visa you can come with to the United States, and you have your green card on arrival. And then before in 5 years' time, you have your citizenship, which is golden. You understand? It is actually golden. So that's what I can say. I hope that answered your question. I have to take another question from, hey, Olaofe, how are you doing? Aha, you can ask your question now. Unmute yourself and ask your question. Hello, Olaofe Ramota, you raised your hand. Was that in error? Sorry, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
I've done that. Can you
Okay,
hear
go
me now?
ahead. Yes.
Good evening. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, ma?
I'm fine. I'm
Give
fine,
it
my
up for my
family.
matron. She used to be my matron in National Hospital. Yes, how
Well
are you
done.
doing? Yeah,
I'm
good.
fine.
All right.
My
Go ahead with your
question
question.
is simple. Yes, I would like to know at what's the maximum age that my green card can cover for my works.
Your green
Can you
card
hear
is,
me?
yeah. Your green card,
Yes, I mean a child under me. At
oh,
what
let's
was
see.
the maximum age that my
Oh, it's
green card
21.
can give them, edge to enter US?
Enter 21. 21. So once they're above 21, they cannot be covered by your
Can you
green.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I said 21. Did I mute myself?
21. Okay,
Yes.
fine. 21. Okay.
All right. So 21, at 21,
Well,
they
the
will
one
not be able to
is going
enter.
to be 18 anyway.
That's good. It's okay. It's okay with the process. Okay. And I've seen it. I've seen it in another form also. Like
At
if
21.
yeah, like if he's
At
going to be
21, you will not be able to enter.
yes, for your children, they are considered adults.
Mm, okay. Once they are 21,
It's a cutoff.
network.
Yeah. So let me answer your question, then you
I
can
can
watch
hear you,
the
but it is breaking in between.
okay, you watch the YouTube
Okay.
video when
Yes.
we are
Okay.
done, but let me answer you now. So once they are 21 years, especially your children, once they are 21 years old, they are cut off from the process. But this is the caveat. If they are not up to 21 when you started the process, that's why I'm saying you people should go and start the process. If they're not up to 21 when you started the filing process, and they become 21 during the process with all this retrogression, you can still go to the embassy with them because when you filed their I-140, they were not 21. Let me just state this. It has worked for a lot of people. Their children have maybe 22 and they, were able to go to the embassy with them because at the age that they did the filing process with them, they were less than the age. So that was taken. Okay. It happens. Some people might not have the same way. People understand English differently, but majority of the time, this is the case that I have seen. People, they regard the date of filing, the date that they filed the I-140, the date that it was approved. Those dates are very crucial in determining if your child is eligible. Because now that things stay like 2 years, 3 years in retrogression, if your child crosses that age, you can actually still go with them and they'll be able to still get their visa. All right. It has happened to people I know, like very close to me. We were praying that the consular officer should not just be mad on that day, and it happened, and they were able to come with their children. So you can still go. Just make sure the filing time, is the child is below the age during the filing. All right. And no lawyer will actually file for your child if they are over the age. The filing has to be when the child is below. All right. So now, do we have another question? You know why I wanted to take the question? Because I was losing my breath. I wanted to catch a breath a little bit. Okay, so now let me read also some of the other questions that we have. Um, yeah, consent letter of 2023. Will it be acceptable? What kind of consent? Is it consent from spouse? I think it will. Consent is consent. You don't have to update it. You can notarize it if you want it to remain valid forever. Just go to a lawyer with whoever that gave the consent and then notarize the documents, and then it will be good. All right. So please, must the outfit be corporate? I am not talking about interview outfit today. Come next week to my program and we'll talk about outfits, your questions that you will get, your answers that you need to give. We'll talk about all of that next week, Friday. So make sure you're here, all right? So next question is, can we have both national population and local government birth certificate? The best. The best thing is to have both of them. If you don't have both of them, please have both of them if you have the means to have both of them. But if you do not have any, or if you want to have just one, get the National Population Commission one. Okay? But please have both of them. Because that National Population Commission one has a biometric with it, but the local government one does not have biometric. So I would say get the both of them. Just to be safe. All right. So if you are asked if you are a resident of a country and you transferred your file there, but you don't live there, how will you answer? Can you save this question, Miracle, for next week? Because this is going to be one of the biggest questions I'm answering next week, and it's very, very important because a lot of people might not be lucky enough with this question. Can you save it for me for next week? I promise I'll answer it. I promise I want to answer it like so bad because I've talked about it in this show before. So please kindly save it for me for next week, okay? We'll talk about it next week. All right. Next question is it true that people with chronic illnesses and likely to depend on Medicaid, if allowed into the US, are likely to be denied visa? It's not true. If you are coming here on a B1, B2 visa, you know what B1, B2 is a tourist visa. Yes, you might be denied. But if you're coming here with EB3 and you have a chronic illness, the bottom line is that you have a job and you're going to be paying taxes. Okay? So Medicaid and Medicare is actually tax funded. Okay, so if you're here, you're paying taxes, you're contributing to Medicaid and Medicare. So you have that same right with somebody who was born here to use the money from that fund. So for sure, you will not be denied. Okay, I've seen people with what kind of chronic illness are we even talking about? I've seen people with colostomy bag, they are still able to walk. I've seen people with colostomy bag is not even a problem. I've seen people with different health conditions, but they are still able to walk. They don't have any issues getting the visa to come here. You understand? So the problem is if you are unable to work and you're not hired and you're looking for B1, B2 visa category, then that's where the problem comes. All right. So another question is, can someone pick your visa for you? If you give an authorization to that person, you have to give an authorization. I think you have to give them a receipt, like a receipt of payment for the visa. They have to present that receipt to be able to identify that they are picking the visa. But why would you do that? Huh? Avoid story that touch the heart, I beg. So for those that are not Nigerians, what I mean is try as much as possible to not, do things that are risky. Risky things are not good. All right, now the next question is, do you do medicals with your entire family or just you and your spouse? With your entire family. You understand? I went with my family because they have to check the immunization of all my children. So this immunization record, the people that are going to vet all the immunization you have taken are those people in IOM. So IOM is just like they have the screening center, they have the lab, they have the radiology, they have all the departments in that little house. So what they do is when you come, you go through all the departments, and then last one is you go to the person that would compile your document and send to the US Embassy. So when you get to that point, they will collect your immunization for your children, and they have to transcribe all the immunization that your children has gotten. They have to put it into the packet that they are going to give to the embassy. So those immunization, those packets that you have will be very, very important also in IOM office because they will ask you for your immunization record. All right. Okay, so now let's do please, what of spouse that is a businessman and he's not interested in tech? He said he can apply as a driver. What do you think? Drivers has money. Oh. There's a course that I would recommend for him. It's called CDL truck driving. Okay, if you do CDL truck driving, you might be surprised. He will be making a lot of money, even more than you that is a registered nurse. They make a lot of money. The only thing is that you will not be seeing him. You will not be seeing him today. He will tell you he's in New York. Tomorrow he has picked a load that is going to California. All those kind of things. You might not have that time. If your goal is to have a family that is in one place, united, taking care of family, you need to look for like a job, a driving job that is within his locality. And I have some recommendations as well. So companies that, sell heavy equipment like Lowe's, Home Depot, East Coast Appliances, most of those companies, they have trucks and they require people that drive it. And then they have driver helper position as well. Driver helper position is like somebody who is going to be by the side of the driver. If they come to a place and they want to bring down a load, the driver helper and the driver will help to bring down a load. But they're not carrying it though. They have different machines and equipment that they use to carry things up and down the truck. You understand? So your husband can actually apply in those ones that stay within the area. And it doesn't pay as much money, but at least it's something. Okay, so CDL driving, truck driving, Uber driving, all those kind of things. But it depends. This is not a permanent thing. You understand? Let him also be looking at what will he do eventually? What is he going to do eventually? At some point, you need to transition from that truck driving to something better in the family. Okay. Always have an exit plan. I always tell people I'm mentoring. Let me mention this. If you are not in our mentorship group, please, you are missing a lot. This kind of program that we're having here today, they have it every Saturday in our mentorship group. Every Saturday, they are getting the best and the best of training for them, for those that are coming to the United States. So I want to encourage you, if you have gotten your ID, if you have gotten your ID, if you have gotten your ID, please contact this number that I'm going to put on the chat. Contact this number on WhatsApp and they will add you to the mentorship group. Mentorship group is where we train you on everything. We'll send videos, how to buy a car, the kind of cars that you should be looking at for, how to fuel your car, insurances, every single thing you can think about coming to the United States. That class is packed with it. So make sure that you apply, not really apply, but that you contact this number, Steph D. Steph D will add you to that group and you will be enjoying the lectures free of charge. It's not paid. It's not a paid class. But we just want to make sure we keep it simple with only those that have gotten their IDs or those that have gotten your case complete. If you don't have your case complete, you don't have your ID, there's no need, contacting her on WhatsApp. Just make sure you have these two things and you can private chat her and she will add you to the group. All right. So that being said, gradually coming to the end of our class. All right. So now where did we stop? Oh, there's a lot of questions. Are you sure we can finish this question? Okay, let me try. Let's just rush. I will keep it simple. Okay. All right. The next question is Good evening, Mr. Decency. Please, what is the maximum age that green card? Oh, I answered it, thank God. I answered this is 21. Okay, my husband is an aviation engineer. He works with an airline here in Nigeria, and as an avionic engineer, in terms of job prospects, what can he do? He's already rich. Please. Just bring him here. He will have a job. I hope he has certifications to back up his aviation engineering. If he does, don't worry, he has a job. There's a lot of opportunities in that area. I know US airlines have many. He will have a job. Okay, so he should just come. He should kind of get his CV together, make sure his resume reflects all his experiences. And then, when he comes, in fact, he can even start applying from back home. Can apply to different airlines, their maintenance units. He will get a job, definitely. Definitely. Go to Indeed, go to ZipRecruiter, go to LinkedIn, create a profile for him there, and then upload his resume there. Make sure the resume is very good. Upload it there, and you will see even before you come here, people will be contacting you for a job for him. You understand? That's how bad it is. That's a very good area. What is the primary applicant? The primary applicant, must we bring immunization card? I'm happy that some primary applicants are here. Oh, yo, I thought it's dependent. Primary applicants, must we bring immunization card when we are little? I'm not trying, I don't know what that question is. Say, we, the primary applicant, must we bring immunization card when we are little? Are you talking about your children? Yes, they have to bring their immunization card. All right. Now, next question is from Adiola. Say, thank you, Boss D. Is it advisable to take drugs like azithromycin before medicals? Is X-ray done as well? Yes, X-ray is done in medicals, except there is a condition like pregnancy that you don't want to be exposed to radiations, but X-ray is done in medicals. All right. So, yeah. I think if you are pregnant, they will give you an option of doing like sputum test or something like that. But X-ray is done in medical, so make sure you go prepared for X-ray. Can the test be an evidence that the vaccine has been given? I mean, the antigen test. Yes, it can be an evidence that the vaccine has been given. That's yes for that question. GMN, do you have a question? You raised your hand. If you have a question and you're still here, you can ask your question. You can let me know on the comment section if you're still interested in asking your question. You can use the emoji, the react button, use that reaction button and then raise your hand there. I would identify you and give you the mic to speak. All right, then the next question is, sir, I I just got to know that we need our immunization card. Why we are kids? Is it compulsory? I don't know. You just got to know that you need immunization card. You need immunization card. You need immunization card. That's where all your immunization is written. All right, if you are not following us, please kindly on the link that we sent, the last link is the WhatsApp. That's where you get all the notification about the meeting. For some of you that want to join us next week, click on that link, join the WhatsApp group, and then you will get the notification for our meetings for next week, okay? It's a small word indeed. Christiana said it's a small word. Yes, it is. All right. Thank you so much, Chief, for the information you share. God bless you greatly. Please, I have a question. A friend, quantiferon TB test showed a positive result and suggested a probable TB infection, though he didn't know what the X-ray showed from the medical result. Please, will this affect the interview process? Yes, it will. Yes, and get ready for it. So definitely, this happened to my virtual one of my friend. It happened to her. So her husband was tested and it was positive, and he needed that they do another test, and it also was positive again, and then they had to go through medications, and after the medications, they they were not current anymore, so they couldn't offer her visa. You understand? They've already gone for the interview. They say, congratulations, everything is okay, but we are not going to offer you visa. We'll offer you visa, but we're not going to offer your spouse visa because your spouse is positive for TB. You understand? So when that happened, the nurse said, no, I don't want to go without my spouse. I want to go with him. So I would rather stay home and make sure we take care of whatever that is his problem, and then we can go for the or come back again for the visa. So they thought it's something that would just take a month, but because they were retrogressed again, so she spent like almost 7 to 8 months again in the process before she was able to get everything treated. They went back, everything was clear, and then the husband got a visa and she got a visa and they came here. So yes, it will affect the process. Just get ready for it. If that person can start treatment, it would be nice that they do, because that would kind of make everything make everything less how will I put it? Yeah, that will kind of make everything like snappy, like the time that they're going to spend in the process will be less. All right. If you do not have the requirements, please do not chat up the number. If you don't have that requirements for you to be in that mentorship group, please don't chat up the number. Just wait until you have case complete. If you have case complete, you have evidence to prove, come, we will train you to be successful in the United States. All right. Okay, so now next, I have an interview on Tuesday, which is why I'm asking if I should be corporate. Oh, on Tuesday, come on, wear corporate, okay? Wear corporate, dress nice, dress for the weather. Don't say because I said wear corporate, if it is so sunny, you wear suit, okay? Just dress nice, dress simple, go for your interview, put on a smile, okay? Put on a smile when you're talking to your consular officer, maintain eye contact. Make sure that you have all your documents arranged a night before. Go for your interview early enough. Most times they don't follow the time that they sent you. Sometimes they will send you a time that 12 noon. You understand? If you go there by 8, you finish your interview before 9. So, but just go on time. Go on time for your interview. That will be very, very nice. Okay? All right. The next question, I'm going to rush through it. I know I've spent a lot of time and people are still here. Okay, is the local government as same as attestation of age? They call it Schedule A. They just call it Schedule A. It's not attestation of age. Okay. What is your prediction of? I don't do prediction. Bemi, I'm sorry. I don't do prediction game, because people will hold me to my word. I don't do prediction. I know some lawyers do predictions and they don't turn out well. I don't do if I do prediction now, you stop coming for the program because you say I deceive you. Please, there is nobody that knows how the bulletin will come out. Nobody. Every prediction is based on mathematics that doesn't really exist. Okay. I have not heard of local government birth certificate. It's called Schedule A. You can research about it. It's called just Schedule A. Can the test be an evidence that the vaccine has been given? I mean, the antigen test. I said yes. You can find that on the test. I have a friend that has written NCLEX but not filed because her genotype is SC, sickle cell, affects migration. No. I have a friend. I have so many nurses that are sickle cell patients that are here. So why not? Does not, please. Please, oh, Busaya, please. That does not count. All right. Now the next question is, um, I just got to know that we need an immunization card while we are kids. Is it when we are kids? You asked that same question again, and I'm saying yes, it is compulsory. Get your immunization card, you need it. All right. Please answer my question. I answered all the questions. At least I tried. You were so commanding in that. I said, please answer my question. All right, I answered all the questions. Trust me, it's not easy to talk and you people are just listening. You're enjoying, no? Nobody did this for me. but I like to do it for you all. I think it is difficult to be added to I think it is difficult to be added to mentorship group. I have not been added since I showed interest in my case. So if you show interest to that number that I sent and you provide evidence to prove that you have gotten your case complete, you'll be added. Okay, if you're not added, indicate in the pre-arrival group and I'll make sure you're added. Okay, it might just be that you didn't provide enough evidence. Okay, please, sir, what is the job prospect for a spouse who is electrical engineer? Yeah, he was just going to go to the labor market. There's no job waiting for anybody. You understand? So there's no job waiting for anyone. You just have to come here and find a job. All right. But while you're looking for a job, let the husband be ready to do anything that comes his way. All right. Go on my YouTube page. You will see spouse job placement video that I made. It's very nice. Watch it. It's very, very good. YouTube name is Decency NCLEX Academy. Go there, watch all the videos. They are very, very insightful. Please, my husband is a maintenance engineer with lots of experience. Will it be easy for him to get a job in the US? Now, I want to say this again. I said it last time that I did a program. When you're doing your orientation with your hospital, please kindly make sure that you present your husband's situation to the HR department. That's the only time you meet your HR department. Okay, tell them what your husband is doing back home. They may have something in that hospital. Hospitals are very big. It's like a big, large industry. Okay, so they may have an electrical department angle of the hospital that your husband can work in, at least for the meantime. And then they can also have a maintenance department that your husband can work in. But you have to speak up. Don't be afraid of white people. They are human beings. They have red blood in their vein. So just talk to them and tell them, see, my husband is here with me. He doesn't have a job now. He studied this. Do you have any job that, this hospital can offer him? He really loves this hospital. Speak good about your husband and what he thinks about the hospital. I've been telling him so many good things about the hospital and he loves to work here. You understand? Those people, especially if you're talking to the people that make decisions in that HR department, and it's actually those that make decisions that will come to you. If you talk to them, they will definitely find your husband something. It has worked. It has worked every time I give this advice. It always works. Okay. Good evening, Boss D. My husband is an aviation security officer. Yes. Also in that one, he can work in the security department of the hospital. So just present him to the hospital. That's the best and the first place to start. Thank you, boss, for the information. Valuable information. You're welcome. My family and I had varicella infection before. Do we still need vaccine? I would say no, but the best thing to do is just to do the antigen test. Okay, just to make sure that you have the antibody. All right, so we are still here because you are a blessing to nursing profession. Nominate me for an award now. Okay, now it's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy that you guys are here. All right, so how can children above 21 come? By study or by marriage? All right. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me till now. We still had like 80 something people by the end of the show. So thank you so much. If you like, let me not see you here on Friday. We have a lot to discuss about your real interview. And GMN, if you are not so equipped with what you have to answer, reach out to me before Tuesday and we can talk about that privately, okay? But it's not something I can rush. I cannot do like a rush work on this kind of topic. I want to take it slow. I want to be able to pass the information. I want to make sure people are, get the value that they need, that they go to the interview, come out flawlessly, come to the United States, become successful. And thank God, don't even thank me. Thank God, I'm happy. Don't even remember me. Remember God, I'll be so happy. So God bless you all for coming here. And then I will see you all next week, Friday. That's where we bring the program to a close. I want you to tell me thank you in your different languages. I want to know how many people that are here from different countries, okay? If you're here from other country, I want to see that. So let me see. Tell me thank you in another language. All the language I'm seeing is Nigeria, 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 Nigeria. We should not Nigerianize this group. Oh, Nigerianize, is there a word like that? No. Okay. All right. Thank you, my Nigeria people. Messi, yes. Say Abonga, Pam. Thank you. Yes, I like that. South Africa. Yes, I'm so so happy that we have South Africans today. I hope you got value, Pam. I hope most of the thing I said actually applies for to people in South Africa and anybody anywhere. Most of the information I'm giving is general, so it affects everyone. It cuts across nationalities and countries, and it will be very, very useful in any country. All right, thank you so much. God bless you and see you all next week. Bye.